Firing. He's going for Landry down by the end zone. A tumbling catch for a touchdown. He's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Is this how it feels to win?
Welcome back, Survivors, episode 29, season 4 of the Surviving the Season, live from the Baywater Studios in Tampa, Florida. I'm Adam. Greg's here.
Yo, first place, AFC North, baby.
First, just where we thought we were going to be.
Hey, I told you, +7 this week for the Browns. Oh, my God. Take a mortgage out on the house, put it all on the line. Let's go. Get some balls, people. Come on. You should have thrown everything on this thing.
30 second half points. Browns score 40. Baltimore 25. Browns 2-2 lead the AFC North. We are in first place once again, just as expected.
I guess we lead because we have the one victory over Baltimore, right? Is that what you're saying? Because we're both 2-2.
Yeah, then it goes to head-to-head.
Yep. So, okay. We do lead. That's right. We got the tiebreaker, baby.
Yeah. Tiebreaker belongs to us. Sorry, I just turned my Xbox on accidentally.
Problem.
I had to unplug that. Interesting game. 10-7 at half, and then just an explosion of offense in the second half.
Yeah, what did happen there?
I don't know.
How did that go?
Through it, but.
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy because we kind of struggled. Once again, we had a little bit. I mean, the first time we had the ball, didn't we go 3 and out right off the bat?
3 and out.
So I was thinking, oh, here we go. That's a great start. And then finally, we started turning things around. The interesting thing is we come away scoring. If I go, Adam, we're going to score 40 points today, Odell's going to have 2 catches for 20 yards. You would say, yeah, right.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it ain't happening. No, we're going to get it done with Jarvis Landry today. 8 receptions, 167 yards. That's what we're going to do. That's going to be our offense. Is it possible? And then we're going to go with Ricky Seals-Jones. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I had that one, Adam.
So we got to get somebody on the field that can play. And as far as the other tight ends showing up, Farrell Brown, only 1 catch, 18 yards on 1 target. But I wrote down his name a number of times on running plays that busted Chubb. So Farrell Brown out there blocking. And Chubb paid off today.
Well, obviously, Freddie's watching the same game film we are when we come away and go, look, you don't have a passing option here from tight end unless you put Ricky Seals-Jones into this ball game. And he started getting more snaps, less and less snaps for Harris today. And I think that's a good thing. He did have a big block on the 85-yard run or whatever, however long that long one was for Nick Chubb that helped bust him out. But Farrell Brown taking a number of those snaps today, Ricky Seals-Jones getting a number of those snaps, and I think we got better production as an offense through those two. There was a lot of two tight end sets today.
Yeah. I think when we go back and watch the film, Farrell Brown's going to score pretty good run blocking. Mm-hmm. He's just sealing the edge there a few times, making the right block, doing the right thing. Whereas you said before, they're running Harris out in patterns. Harris has no targets today. They've essentially removed him from that role, and we are better for it.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Seals-Jones is just a natural. He was a wide receiver. He was a big-time recruit coming out of high school, went to Texas A&M. He never really excelled at Texas A&M. He was a guy that, he was like an oversized wide receiver basically there. Comes into the league, goes to Arizona, plays. They start converting him to tight end, and that looks like his natural position. Looks like he can give you a little bit in the pass catching realm. So you give up the valve, you bring in Ricky Seals-Jones. That was the trade off. In this point, so far to this point, it's worked out pretty well. Ricky Seals-Jones doing the job that he's been brought in here to do. I mean, he had a touchdown last week too. So back-to-back weeks with touchdowns. Or was that Harris? No, it was Harris last week, right?
It was not Seals. Yeah.
It probably should have been Ricky Seals-Jones running that route when we were down there in the late in the fourth quarter against the Rams. Maybe we would have had a different outcome.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the keys that we talked about previous to the game. Win the turnover battle, 3-1. Browns win the turnover battle.
Well, you win the turnover battle, you should win the game. I'm not even a little surprised by what happened here today. I'm really not. I was expecting the Browns to have a breakout game. They did. I think the Ravens were highly overrated. They played two chumps. Then they go and play the Chiefs. And like I said, the score was a lot closer than what the final score is a lot closer than what the actual game was. The Chiefs really smashed Baltimore pretty good. And then Baltimore got a couple by the way scores at the end. And Brown just come in and little struggles in the first half, but then they put them away in the second half. Not even surprised by this.
Yeah, and the Ravens got some by the way yardage at the end too. So
by the way, touchdown at the end as well.
So we talked about the turnovers, 3-1. We'll go through the game eventually. Do you want to talk about the Mayfield pick?
The Mayfield pick? Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Yeah. Yes. What did you think? What happened?
Oh, well, I mean, he's running an RPO there, right? And then Landry stopped his route. So it just seemed to be Landry's got to continue his route there. I'm not going to put that one on Baker. I'd like to see how far that pass was off. You'd honestly want to see that ball a little bit more to Jarvis's side there. He might have had to lay out for it, but it seemed like he gave up on the pass pattern.
Yeah,
ends up being. I mean, it goes down. Baker's had a number of these interceptions that it's questionable if it's really even his fault, but it goes down in the scorebook the same way. So he ends up with just one touchdown, one interception. But I mean, it didn't really. They might have scored off of that. I'll have to look back.
They did.
Off that position. They did. Okay, yeah. So it cost us a little bit there.
Yeah, Whitehead got a nice interception jumping over Mark Andrews. That was awesome. And then Devereaux Lawrence tips one to himself. Dope. Glad to see him get his name in the book.
Whitehead made that play. Whitehead made the play that hit the ball up in the air from Lamar Jackson, and then Devereaux Lawrence caught it. So Whitehead had a bounce back game because he was terrible the last couple games, and then he comes in and we're talking. He had two big time plays that showed up in the box score. I can't go and speak on how the rest of all those plays were. Maybe he was terrible.
Well, I'll give you three of them then. If he's the one that tipped the Devereaux Lawrence pick, he also picked off that pass over Andrews where Schobert looked kind of beat. And then he forced the fumble that Chad Thomas jumped on.
Oh.
That was him. He popped that one out. So there's three big plays in the second half. Whitehead showing up. I believe he even has a sack.
They don't have him down for a sack.
He does not have a sack. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody got a sack out of... Oh, it was Randall. Randall got a sack out of the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those...
that was early in the first half.
Yeah.
Really, you come away with from this game, Myles Garrett, no sacks. Really, this was not a Myles Garrett style game. Until we get to the late in the second half where they're just going to end up passing the ball a lot. But really, ultimately, this was, Baltimore is a power run team primarily. They're going to try to fake you, do a lot of the get you going one way. We're going to go the opposite way. That doesn't really fit. Myles Garrett's not going to put up huge stats typically in these kind of games. And, I thought that they did a good job of even blocking him one-on-one even at the end. So he doesn't show up, and the defense to play that well. You're missing, again, 3 starters in the secondary. Myles has one of his less, not as good games as what he typically does. But you have guys like Vernon stepped out today. Ogunjobi, I thought, had a solid game. He had a sack, right? Yep. Devereaux Lawrence gets the INT. Sheldon Richardson got hurt, which we'll see what ended up happening with that. But I thought other people stepped up. Joe Schobert had another really good game as well. So people stepped up and made plays when we needed them to.
Yeah, when you're playing the Ravens, you have to set the edge. So you could tell there's times where they just tell Myles to go. And then there's a different plan in place for Lamar. And then there's times where he has to set the edge, and you can tell which ones they are because he'll stand up. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny. Let me continue with some of the keys that we talked about. Penalties. Brown, 6 penalties, 41 yards. Ravens only 3 penalties for 15 yards, but nothing really stands out as terrible penalties.
Yeah, we had the one, the fight that happened.
Yeah.
OBJ. He's Odell. I mean, this is one thing. This comes up in his career numerous times when he's having a rough day, a rough go of it. He loses his temper. He goes after Humphrey, who did a really good job on him all day. Obviously, when he only put up 2 catches for 20 yards, was getting underneath the skin. Odell loses his shit, throws a punch, really should have been thrown out, and then Humphrey chokes him. And
Really
also, so you
getting strangled.
One punch, one guy gets strangled. It's okay. Shake hands. Let's go back. Let's line it back up, boys. No big deal. I love the NFL, man. There's no consistency to anything.
Yeah, so those penalties were kind of offset. Again, we'll go through the game, but
Odell's lucky he doesn't get thrown out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be smarter than that, man. And he's had the tendency to do that. And so defenders know that, hey, we can get underneath this guy's skin if we do these sort of things, these chippy things that just drive him nuts. If we can limit his catches, and there's a lot of attention going to Odell's way, and that's what opened up things for Landry, and Landry took advantage of it finally today.
Mm-hmm. I wrote down a couple times where there's so much interest in what Beckham's doing that people are getting open because Beckham's doubled up. And this is what good players can do for you, that they don't need to hit the stat sheet all the time, and we're still winning because they're on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, without any doubt, just having Odell on the field makes you have to put a safety over to the side and make sure that you're not going to get over the top on them.
Yeah.
So it opens up things for everybody else. It finally, the Browns took advantage of those other things today.
Yeah, and the third kind of key that we talked about was third down efficiency. The Browns were 6 of 13 today. The Ravens 4 of 10. So I think the Browns getting it done a little bit better today than we were. I think we were at 20-something%.
29%. So 6 of 13. So
almost
just
50,
what, 40,
yeah.
48, 47% ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then what were the Ravens?
4 of 10, 40%. So
all right, solid. I'm surprised they only had 10 third downs.
Yeah, I know. Well,
we had very loose defense today.
Yeah, we'll kind of get into it. They did some chunk like first down. I think one of their drives was 5 plays, all first downs.
Yeah.
And then they scored.
That's not good.
Yeah. So, we can sort of head through it.
Yeah, let's go through the game here.
I just wanted to cover those 3 things is kind of stuff that we thought we could benefit from. I guess real quick before we go into the game, I thought Freddie was much better today overall. The play seemed in quick. We really had what seemed like a flow. We never did really run any kind of up-tempo offense, which is probably on purpose because you probably don't want the Ravens to have the ball a bunch. But
yeah, I don't have time of possession in front of me, but I bet it's pretty staggering.
30-30.
Oh, well, then they must have really got it back in the second half, the Ravens, because we were taking it to them early. Mm-hmm. I mean, just our first long, 13 plays or something like that. I mean, it was a long, long drive.
Yeah, we had like an 8-minute drive, yeah. But it ends up 30-30. I mean, the Browns were sort of just kind of running the ball there in the fourth quarter, just kind of trying to...
Yeah, we gave it back to them.
Yeah, blowing Baltimore's...
Get into the game?
Yeah. Let's get into the game. Start us off. Browns win the toss and elect to take the ball and go 3-and-out.
Yep. But so do they. And this is where Vernon gets his first sack of the year. Almost had a second one, and Lamar slips out of it. It almost feels like Vernon, you can't throw the quarterback down. You're so hesitant to even touch the quarterback, do anything that you're going to get called for some kind of unnecessary roughness, that Lamar slipped out of the second one and does like a little shovel pass and ends up getting yardage when there should be a negative. Pisses me off, this nonsense.
That's the ones I hate too, because he could have probably just body slammed him, but you have to be careful. And then instead of calling the quarterback down, they let the quarterback throw it. It's so fucking stupid.
Oh, like God, any other time.
If the defender has the quarterback by the waist, then he should be down if you're not allowed to tackle him. Why are they letting the quarterback shovel it or throw it out of bounds or whatever they do to get out of the bullshit that they're in. We've already hamstrung the defense enough. Let's give them a break.
Just more bad rules that's ruining the game.
Yeah.
Good job, NFL.
I guess of note on Cleveland's first possession there, that was Baker took a sack on 3rd and 6, and that's the only sack of the day. So
Pernell McPhee got to him on that one where he seemed to double clutch the ball.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
So like you said, 3 and out. Browns get the ball back on their own 16, and they're going to put together one of the better drives of the year, I thought.
Yeah, so far up to this date. I mean, we had a long drive against the Rams last week, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this was a good one, and especially we got set back with like a 15-yard flag on one of these plays, and still able to pick it up.
Landry for 16. You picked up a first down on 3rd and 7. Ratley for 10.
Ratley was called for 3 penalties, I think, today, but only one of them. I think only one of them was actually taken by the defense, by the Ravens. He's got to clean that up.
Yeah, that illegal blindside hit. Well, this is in this drive that we're talking about. Anyway, There's a 3rd and 13 after Cush has a false start, and then there's an illegal contact.
That weakest. It's so weak. It's such a weak illegal contact too. But you touch a guy, Pat. It's so funny. You can do whatever you want up to 5 yards. You can throw the guy into the ground. You can jump on him. You can smack him around. You get past 5 yards. If you even put a hand on the guy, it's like, oh no! You can't do that. Can't do that.
Exactly. I also don't like when the wide receiver runs into the defensive player, and then that becomes illegal contact as well.
Yeah.
It seems so weird to me, but we pick up the first down. We're still in our own territory. A nice screenplay to Chubb for 10. And then that was when the illegal blindside happened, and it was 1st and 25.
Really, now, it got the player off of his feet. Like but he really didn't put his body weight into it. You still have to be allowed to make the block, right? Don't you? You shouldn't just be going full bore into the guy. If you're just going and you're putting, you're just keeping him from getting through, like almost like a pick. It happens in basketball. You set a pick and you're not even moving, but the guy runs into you, he goes down. They're saying that's illegal now. Like, I
think they're saying Ratley is moving towards the line of scrimmage because that's the illegal portion of it.
Yes, I know that, but that's what you've always done on those pitch plays,
right? But if Ratley's standing still, he can make that block. But
you got to run back to him because you got to make sure that you're getting back to the player.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that you can't be moving towards the line of scrimmage and making a block.
Yeah, so they legitimately want you just to be setting a pick, and it's about as close to a pick as what you could possibly do. But I guess they would call that an illegal screen in the NBA. So here, this is what we're doing. We're the NBA now. So
on the 1st and 25 play, he hits Farrell Brown for 18. Left us with a manageable 2nd and 7.
Yep. And that was a big time play to get us back into manageable. You're right.
Takes us down. Landry 5-yard swing pass. 3rd and 2 hits Hilliard in the flat. He runs it for 18 down to the Baltimore 16-yard line. Chubb for 6. Chubb for 1. 3rd and 3. Ricky Seals-Jones touchdown.
Must have been a busted coverage because he was wide open. I mean, we've been struggling in the red zone, and we still had another series where going into the 2-minute or after the 2-minute warning, going in at half, where we struggle in the red zone. It was good to see the Browns actually score one there, but I would say the play calling in the red zone is still leaves you wanting a bit more.
Yeah, a little bit of a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Rams take over 2:45 in the first quarter. Ravens. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the score of the Rams game. Rams are down 21-0 at home to Tampa Bay at the beginning of the second quarter.
Well,
what's possibly happening there?
It's the NFL.
Yeah. The Ravens on their second drive into Cleveland territory, 3rd and 7. Demarius Randall gets a sack.
Yep, big time sack. But I really think Randall had a rough game.
Yeah.
Missing tackles. It was not great. It was not a great game out of him. See if he can bounce back. You get a couple weeks off. He was off for 2 games or 1? He's been in that concussion protocol for
two. He missed 2 games. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully he'll come back next week. What, we got 49ers next week?
We do. Monday night.
Okay.
Browns starting their own 10. They get out to the 27. On first down, Chubb goes for -3. Hubbard gets annihilated on that one.
Yeah, there was a couple of those. Well, yeah, he got annihilated by Greg Robinson.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that supposed to be, a trap? I don't even know what it was, but Greg Robinson blocked Hubbard better than he blocked anybody else.
Yeah, it was
but I'm just happy
funny.
Greg Robinson made it out of the game without a hold today. So kudos to you, Greg.
Holy shit, that's rare.
Yeah.
Well, second down, they ran this misdirect where OBJ came across the formation. Mayfield kind of just flipped it in the air. Chubb caught it, luckily. But I'm wondering if that was for Beckham.
I would say without any question, that's the way that you throw. So wide receivers aren't used to taking the handoff. You know, there's an actual way you're supposed to take the handoff the way that running backs do. And for a while now, they go, these wide receivers don't know the proper way to do it, so we'll just throw the ball up because they're used to catching it. So there's I don't know what Chubb was doing or what happened there. Maybe Baker. The only thing I could think of was Baker's supposed to fake it to Chubb and then pitch it to OBJ, but the timing was way off if that's the case.
Yeah, the timing was definitely off. Forced a 3rd and 13. We had to punt.
Those kind of plays, man, they just kill your drives.
Yeah, nothing of note on the Ravens drive.
But they did punt it deep into our territory. Actually, they had that 3rd down and 7 where Moore is wide open. Chris Moore is wide open on the sidelines, catches the ball, and
Jesus
obviously has I could see it from the TV screen I'm watching that his foot's out of bounds. There's 2 referees there. They can't see that his foot's on the out of bounds line apparently, and we have to use a challenge.
But apparently they did know he was out of bounds because they whistled the play dead. But they gave him the reception. I don't know how that happens. They're like, "Oh, you were out of bounds, but you caught it." What are you guys doing? What the fuck are they doing sometimes? I just don't understand.
It's rough.
How inept officiating can be sometimes. It was obviously he was out of bounds, and they caught it that he was out of bounds, but they still said that he caught the ball with 2 feet inbounds. I don't know how that happened.
But it resulted in a punt anyways.
Yeah. Browns get the ball back their own 9. Chubb screen, Chubb run, first down. Landry for 18 on a nice play action pass. That was awesome. Browns from their own 45, that triple reverse play. Let's talk about that one.
Ooh. Well, Beckham saves the day by slipping out of the sack / there's 2 guys there to smash him. He slips out of that and heaves it up. Ratley has a chance to make the play. The defense wasn't bad, but you'd like to see Ratley come down with that one, but it ends incomplete. The way that play started, if it just ends incomplete, you just go, okay, we'll take it, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought once Beckham slipped those first 2 dudes that he might just take off with it. He was going to have some yardage there.
Yeah, I wonder how much room was in front of him, because I was thinking the same thing.
But also at the same time, he's like, well, this is my play where I get to throw the ball, so fuck it, I'm throwing it.
Right.
You know? Who cares?
Yeah. Well, it was a nice throw, man. I mean, he launched it.
Oh, he threw it. Yeah, he threw it 50 yards, easy. Like, no problem. 2nd and 10, Chubb gets 7. 3rd and 3 is the RPO. Landry sort of stopped on the route. That was Baker Mayfield's pick.
Right. Yep. That sucks because we were moving there.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we're gonna get another drive here. We're looking good, and then the pick happens, and you're like, oh no. But of course, Ravens take over at their own 42, and first play, Lamar Jackson gets away for 29 yards.
Yeah, he did a decent job running today. How would he have total?
Man, he's so slippery, so hard to defend.
9 carries, 66 yards on the day. Took a couple shots. I mean, every game, those keep accumulating those shots, and eventually, Lamar probably won't be in there anymore. Yeah, I think the Browns did a good job of keeping him in the pocket, not letting him slip out and get a lot of huge gains. Now that 29 yards, that's rough, but for the most part, they did a nice job of containing him.
Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays later, they punch it in right after the 2-minute warning.
5 runs. Actually, they started off the drive, 6 straight runs there, and then the 9-yard pass to Boykin, who was wide open.
Yeah.
Bad zone, like just the middle of the field there. Browns were in zone, a lot of zone today. Wide open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Miles Boykin, 3 receptions, 32 yards, and that score on the day. Browns going to get the ball back with 1:55 on their own 13. They have 3 timeouts, 7-7. Incomplete to Landry on first down, and then a really amazing play happens on second down.
Yeah, Landry broke it. I mean, he got hit hard. He got hit pretty hard after he caught the ball. Thought that typically that would knock the normal guy down, but Landry wasn't going to give up on that one, and he just took off. Couldn't really maintain the feet, though, all the way down, and eventually subdued by the turf monster.
So Landry is going to exit this game with a concussion, and if he did not take that concussion on that play, I don't know when he did, because Tony Jefferson hits him helmet to helmet, textbook 15-yard, throw the dude out or whatever they're doing now. Tony Jefferson's going to catch a fine for that hit, and we didn't even get a flag for it. And while Landry's running, it's no surprise that he can't keep his feet. At one point, Beckham sort of grabs his elbow to keep him up. I thought he was like Landry could have handed the ball to.
Yeah, I was honestly
Beckham.
Thinking a pitch was coming there.
Yeah,
I was like, he's gonna pitch us.
And then Ricky Seals Jones almost like kind of grabs him a little bit, and then Landry falls down at the 22-yard line. Great play though. I can't believe he skipped those first 2 guys. He split right between those first 2.
Yeah.
And then just gets annihilated by Tony Jefferson.
He really had a couple nice yards after catch today where he made plays that really weren't there. He was able to make them with his feet. I mean, this is not a guy that's known for his being fleet of foot, and he was just physical and able to push through tackles.
Yeah, 8 receptions, 10 targets, 167 yards. Nice day for Landry, and he missed, I don't know how much of the fourth quarter. So 1 minute to go. We're on the Baltimore 22. Let's get 7 out of this, right? We need 7. We get a defensive holding on first down. They hold OBJ. It's 1st and 10 from the Baltimore 17. OBJ tries to run that little where they run it in, and then they
held again.
Yeah, he got held again. I don't know what
again.
That route is called.
They call that the jerk route because it makes you look like a jerk. They fake one way, go the other way, and the guy's got his inside arm holding onto the back of Landry or back of Beckham. No call, but Beckham's absolutely correct. I'm trying to get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Nonsense.
Yeah, 40 seconds. Chubb screen incomplete. Kind of just an ugly screen. Didn't really get set up very well. 3rd and 10, they get the ball to Landry, who makes like you said, he made a great play after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
To get to the sticks. I thought he's at the sticks.
That's a first down.
That's a first down, yeah.
That's a first down. Maybe. Okay, after the guy explained, hey, where the ball went, I went, okay, maybe he's right. It's really close, but it sure as hell looked like a first down.
4th and 1. 30 seconds to go on the Baltimore 9-yard line or 8-yard line, somewhere in there. Go for it.
Oh, hell yeah, because it's not even a full 1. It's like 4th and inches.
Yeah. Give me a Freddie motherfucking Kitchens right there for that one.
Yeah, Freddie is
trying to win the game.
Freddie is not afraid to go for 4th downs. This guy, I mean, we've gone for a number of 4th downs, and I think that's what you do. I think the numbers support that. The data's there. The NFL should be going for way more 4th downs than what they go for. So you try to get 7. You want to get 7 because if you're just kicking a field goal there, you're giving up the possibility of 4 points. You're trying to get 7 on every time you got the ball. You settle for 3.
Yeah, 4th and 1. Mayfield just pushes forward for the first down. 24 seconds to go. Browns used their second timeout. Incomplete pass. It got batted down. Mayfield scrambled to the sideline on second down. Third and goal, incomplete to Ratley, but I thought we had somebody open.
I don't know if that was the case. I don't remember who was open. But Ratley, I think if Baker throws a better ball there, it throws Ratley open.
Yeah, he could have thrown
Baker.
him open.
Was Baker scrambling to the right?
He was.
Okay, so it might have thrown him off. The other one on second down and goal from the 7 when Mayfield runs. I hope that was enough for everybody to see where in the Rams game where everybody said Baker should have ran that one. It was wide open up the middle from the 12 yards away. Come on, dude. Now you saw he tried to run from 7 yards away. Look what happened.
Right, he got 1 yard.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Seibert knocks down the field goal, 24-yarder. Makes it 10-7 at half. Here's where we can throw in Seibert. 2 for 2 on field goals, that 24-yarder, and another 43-yarder later in the game. 4 for 4 on his extra points.
Yeah. And like we said, Seibert is the choice. You got to keep Seibert.
That's exactly what we said.
Yeah, Seibert's done a really good job so far. I mean, just piss poor training camp, piss poor preseason, but he's really got it going so far this year. Hasn't missed anything so far.
Yeah, suddenly he got the job. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm good at this. Okay.
Not only that,
cool.
but he's splitting the uprights like perfectly in a lot of them.
No, yeah, they're not even like, besides that, the first missed extra point, he's been money. Yeah. And they haven't even been close to being panics. Like, they're right down the middle. So
field goal kicking is like a golf swing. It's like a basket, like having, feeling your stroke in basketball. Next thing you know, you can't miss a 3-pointer, that sort of thing. It's touch, right?
Yeah.
And once you find your rhythm, that's all you need. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time, right? Sometimes because you get the yips. Every once in a while you get the yips, but you got to fight through the yips, and then once you find that rhythm, you're good. And I feel like Seibert's he's found that rhythm right now.
Yeah, again, special teams as a whole, I thought was good. No long returns. We made all our kicks. The punting seemed just fine. No turnovers. No stupid returns. We never did have a punt return.
Stupid returns of us returning out of the end zone. That's I cannot see. We returned the ball out of the end. Why are we catching the ball in the end zone and returning it? Yeah, Taywan Taylor did. I think twice. The one he caught at the 1 yard line, fine. We'll give you that one. But there was another one he caught in the end zone, and we're returning it.
Yeah.
Why?
That's no good. I don't remember that one. Yeah.
It was late.
Okay. Anything else on the first half? Do you have first half stats or anything?
No, I didn't even. I just know Jarvis actually was over 100 yards. Odell didn't even have a catch.
Yeah, everyone's starting to freak out.
Catchless. They said it was only the second time in his career.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So 10-7 at half. Browns are up. We have to kick off. Ravens start at their own 15. Boykins 18 yards on first down. Oh, they get down to the Cleveland 25, and on 2nd and 8, Ogunjobi comes up with what I thought was a sack, but I think they didn't give him a sack. Oh, they did. They should
give him a sack, and it should be a half a sack because Richardson, I think, was the first one there.
Okay.
It should count as a sack. It was a -1, even though Jackson was going to run. The way they normally score that in the NFL is anytime a quarterback's tackled behind the line of scrimmage, it's not a design run, it's a pass, but it should be I mean, they got one for Ogunjobi. I can't remember if there was another one he had besides that.
I wrote it down as sack -1 ? Ogunjobi.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the sack he got or not, but it was 3rd and 8.
Should be.
And then Lamar Jackson had one of the worst passes I've ever seen on that out route to a wide open guy.
Oh, it's just because you haven't watched enough of Lamar Jackson then, because if you watch long enough, you'll see many of those just hideous throws. I know everybody wanted to anoint him MVP of the league, I recall, after 2 games. This is real stuff.
Are you talking about
real
after
stuff.
Playing Miami?
Yes.
And the Cardinals?
Yes. He was the favorite to be the MVP of the league. I read on Twitter. So that's real stuff. People were actually saying that. And, so what he had
The
Well,
Dolphins
he did
have given up 200 points in 4 games. I mean,
and scored like 19.
yeah.
The Dolphins
do we
are making
care?
our tank job look weak as fuck.
We didn't do enough in our tank job the way the Dolphins are pulling it off.
The Dolphins are taking the tank to the next level. But yeah, I mean, so Lamar tore them up, and everybody said he could throw now. I saw videos on I'm going through YouTube, and they're like, now that Lamar's learned to pass, like what? He just over the summer or over, like now I've got it. Now I figured it out. No, he's still the same guy. He's always been able to throw the ball. You don't win the Heisman Trophy because you can't throw the ball. He's always been able to do it. He just is not a consistent passer. He's not a pocket passer. Like, he can make all kinds of plays with his feet, and he can hit the guys that are open, but he's also going to miss guys that are wide open from time to time, and that's going to kill you when you're talking about 3rd down and 9.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you have to have.
It's kind of why it's funny when you open up the season with, 6 tough games, and then you open up the season with 6 easy games. And then you're, 3-3, and the other team's 3-3, and everyone's panicking about Cleveland, but everyone was like really high on Baltimore. I mean, I know we're 2-2, but
yeah, they are what I thought they were.
Like, Cleveland didn't have a joke of a start here these first six or 7 games. So we'll see what we're at the break. But starting off with Miami and the Cardinals at home, and then going to KC, and then you got the Browns at home. Well, it's a little bit different. So, where were we in the game?
They punt. Wait, no, they had to kick the field goal. 41 yards, 10-10.
All right, so now the Browns are just going to go on a fucking clinic of offense.
Yeah, worked out pretty well here.
Starting on our own 25, Chubb for 2, and then Ricky Seals for 60 or 59, whatever they call it.
59, actually, yeah. I can't even remember. How did he get so wide open? Do you recall?
I'm going to tell you why. OBJ runs an out.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Seals runs the corner behind him, and Tony Jefferson, who you mentioned, is a candidate to get sort of a little bit excited. Mm-hmm. He jumps OBJ right away because they're jumping OBJ all day. And Seals Jones is just wide open.
This is Tony Jefferson was a pretty big free agent acquisition for them, and this is like what he's known for now. He always will try to guess, and when he guesses wrong, that's the kind of thing that happens. And then this is when they go back to the sidelines and Harbaugh's ripping into him. But there was 2 or 3 plays today where Tony Jefferson absolutely blew it for his team.
Right. But I mean, is their game plan sort of like, hey, try to get a turnover because they're gonna force OBJ. We've seen the first 3 games. They're forcing OBJ. But he was playing
safety. He wasn't going to get the turnover there. What he's doing is trying to, like, he's doing exactly the opposite of what Bill Belichick tells you to do. Do your job. He's trying to do somebody else's job because he wants to get his name in the newspaper. I mean, not that anybody reads the newspaper. He wants to get his name on the internet.
Get your name in the paper is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this? 1975?
Yeah. I think he was trying to jump that route, and then Baker pumped it, and then Seals Jones was wide open down the right side.
Yeah, down the seam. You can't let your guy just run free there, though. That's terrible.
Right, but it might not be his guy. I mean, they're probably in a zone, but
it's his guy
jumping around.
Definitely look. I'll go back, put a star next to that one to go and look at it. But I would bet $50 that was his guy.
First and goal from the Baltimore 14. Give the ball to Chubb, son.
Mm-hmm. Try. Hey, I dare you to try to tackle me because it's not going to happen. He just breaks through. This guy's a fucking stud, man. My God, it's
play
one
wasn't even
thing,
going that way, by the way.
It's like one thing that he can like break all these tackles, but then he's also has like a second gear where you can't catch him. And then I read out here, Earl Thomas said, well, I held up on that play. I held back on that play on the long run because he said, I want to pull a hamstring. It happened to me before. Earl Thomas clearly does not look like the old Earl Thomas coming off the injury. And it's okay to say that you just got that Nick Chubb just ran away from you. It's okay to say that. But, you can make the excuse.
He said in post-game interview that he pulled up because he doesn't want to pull a hamstring.
Yeah. Not that Nick Chubb, he didn't say he was going to make the play. Maybe he was sort of asserting that he didn't want to continue to run after him because he could pull up a hamstring because it's happened to him before. But it does seem like you're kind of making an excuse of why Nick Chubb's running away from you.
Right, but that's not the play we're talking about. That's
no,
14-yarder. Okay.
No, the 14-yarder, Nick Chubb is just running like a man, and everybody else is...
That play was to the right, and Chubb cuts it back to the left, slips a tackle, slips another tackle, knocks a dude's helmet off, slips that tackle, and then gets into the end zone.
Well, you saw that with the long run, too, with Chubb over pursue. There was over pursuit on that play as well. That's why the hole's so big, and that happens. And Chubb... I mean, look, Chubb, one thing he can do, run away from people, break tackles, and he's got great vision. I mean, he's got everything that you want. If he just becomes a better receiver with the more and more time he's going to put into it, and Freddie says how good of a worker he is, I mean, sky's the limit for this dude.
Well, another thing you talked about in our pregame show is we need a third down back, and Dontrell Hilliard was back today and took a lot of the third down reps, so...
Has Freddie Kitchens put a review on our show?
I hope
because
so.
He's listening. This much we know.
Yeah. Dontrell Hilliard, 2 catches, 27 yards on 3 targets, 6 carries, 27 yards and a score. Most of his carries came at the end of the game. He's not going to carry the ball unless we're ahead like that. But on third down, you need someone that can catch the ball. Chubb can catch the ball on screens, but he's not a route runner.
Yeah, and he dropped one today, though, by the way. Chubb dropped one, from what I...
Good analysis there in our pregame. 17-10, Ravens get the ball back.
I got 9:41 in third quarter, 25-yard line.
Yep, first down. They get into Cleveland's... they're on Cleveland 35-yard line. Edwards for 3, and then Ingram up the middle. It's got room. He has a dude on his back, and then Whitehead comes in, forces a fumble. Chad motherfucking Thomas out of nowhere. I don't even know he's in the game. Somehow manages to get on the ball. Chad Thomas did not. Let's see, is he on here? No, he's not. He doesn't have a tackle. He doesn't have anything, but he's got a fumble recovery. So
that's right. He made the newspaper. They were gashing us a little bit on that drive. Ingram had a strong day, and that one fumble is gonna, be one of the things that ends up killing him. But 12 carries, 71 yards. He had a lot of open space up the middle, and so much of that happens because you're afraid of Lamar Jackson. You got to defend the outside, you got to defend the perimeter, and it opens up lanes for Mark Ingram, and he was taking advantage of them. That would have been a nice gain for him, and the ball ends up getting popped out at the last second. So it was huge. I mean, this was a big turnover for us.
Yeah, they're down at we took over at our own 26, so that's points for them with what's his name, Tucker. There's already guaranteed 3 points from there. So
you're talking about a 10-point, 14-point swing here.
Yeah. So now there's 6-11. We take in the third quarter. We take over. First down. This run, go back and watch this one from our own 26. 6-11. Eric Kush completely misses his block. Completely. Doesn't even touch the guy. Chubb jumps over him and runs for 17 yards down the right sideline. That plays, that's a 0 play. Go watch it.
Oh, man. Chubb doing his thing. Earning that money.
So now we're down to our own 43. Chubb for 5. That second down and 5 is the only play today that I thought they tried to force the ball to Beckham.
Yep, and 100% because he was looking at him, pumps to him, looks again. Come on, just get open, do whatever you can. I mean, you want to get your playmakers into it, especially when you have a guy that's as talented as Beckham. So you're going to call some screens, and there was obvious times where they had some RPO screen stuff called, and they end up running the ball, and there's some looks, where it gives options for Baker to throw quick to Beckham. It doesn't always work out like that. You're just going to pick the play that's going to be more efficient for the offense, and it just didn't happen to go to Beckham. And then this one definitely seems like they're trying to force it to him to get him into the game, try to get him into the stat book. He might have had a catch at that point, or I don't even think he did, right?
No, I don't. He may have. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, I think they knew that he might have been getting frustrated because in a couple plays is going to be where he blows up. So
right. Yep.
3rd and 5, Mayfield hits Ricky Seals-Jones for 10 for the first down on a nice play. And then we come to this crazy sequence where we're on the Baltimore 38. Cush gets called for holding. 1st and 20. Hilliard's screen goes for, 15 or 16.
Yeah. Good gain. Solid gain.
And have
then fisticuffs.
4 penalties. 2 on the offense, 2 on the defense. Is that right?
Well, there was a flag thrown early that I thought for sure had to be some kind of like lineman downfield or a hold. And it must have been the initial punch thrown by Beckham, which they didn't even say anything about a punch being thrown. If there was a punch thrown, you're automatically thrown out of the game.
Right, even if you punch him in the face mask, yeah.
Somehow they missed the punch and the choke. This is
I've never seen anyone get choked before. That seems really violent to me. Like punching some dude in the face mask, okay, but that dude was like full weight on him. Humphrey had his full weight and literally his hand around his throat. I've never seen anything like that in the NFL.
That's in jiu-jitsu, that's not a good technique for a choke, though. Let's be honest. Like, if you don't want to go with that style of choke, if somebody knows what they're doing, OBJ can go ahead and just sweep the hands there. But it's a choke. He's trying to choke him, and I don't know. I'm looking at that going, they didn't even mention the choke. They don't even mention the punches thrown. Come on, man. What are we watching here, refs?
There was a part of me
maybe it's because there's other fights going on, and maybe the other fights are what everybody was watching at the time.
Yeah, there was a part of me.
Because who else was called?
I don't even know the other two. There was a part of me that they were like, well, the Browns had a pretty good gain, and we're going to negate this, so let's just do the 2 penalties on this side, 2 penalties on that side, and we'll start all over. It kind of felt like a little bit of a cop-out by the officials.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go to replay the down, 1st and 20.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Hilliard for 5. 2nd and 15. Landry for 11 on a nice play.
Yeah, very nice play there. And then the next one, fantastic.
3rd and 4. Freddie motherfucking Kitchens again pulling out something from the playbook that we've been waiting to see.
Oh, a little misdirection. Get the defense going one way. We're going to throw the little shovel pass. And then there's a wrinkle in the shovel pass that OBJ is actually a pitch. He's an option for a pitch. So it makes the defender, outside defender, there's a corner back there, can't go at Landry. He has to defend the pitch, and that helps Landry pick up an even bigger gain.
That was
fantastic.
Awesome.
Oh, man, just great play design. That is the kind of stuff that we were used to from last year, and I'm happy that we're seeing we're seeing a little misdirection going on.
Yeah, let's open up this playbook because sometimes it just seems so vanilla over 3 games, and now something like that came out. And just even from the beginning when I saw, and then Landry's got the ball, and then I'm like, holy fuck, OBJ's out there too, you know what I mean? And then Landry just kind of fake pitch. I'll take this one. Goes for 28 down to the 2-yard line. Chubb punches it in. Pharaoh Brown seals off that 2-yard run touchdown.
Nice. And that's what he seems to be taking over, the blocking for Demetrius Harris, who's really brought in to be a blocking tight end and hasn't been getting the job done. So Pharaoh Brown, and I hated on the guy because I didn't think he belonged really. He's not a pass catcher of any You're not going to be able to throw them out there and have them run routes every single down, but they're getting good use. You're using your players to their ability. Good job, Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, I mean, Farrell Brown, this could be Seth DeValve in this role. I mean, whatever reason we moved on from him, it's sort of the same thing, but...
Seth's not that kind of blocker. Like, Seth is more of a Ricky Seals-Jones kind of guy. Probably. He's really a pass catcher. He's a tight end and a wide receiver. Well, he's a wide receiver in a tight end's body. You know, he's a big wide receiver. He's okay, and you can put him at fullback at times, but he's not like a great run blocker by any means.
Sure. So Chubb touchdown 24-10 with about a minute to go in the third quarter. How are you feeling at this point?
Fantastic, because I feel like now the Ravens have to do the one thing that they struggle at, pass the ball consistently. You have to be able to move the ball with passes, and you're not going to be able to run the ball. You're not going to be able to run your offense as much. Now it's time for us to be able to pin back our ears. And I'm not really happy with the way the defense played against this portion, but you got to remember 3 of the secondary players are out. Right. You got to think that Denzel Ward versus Marquise Brown is a good matchup for Denzel Ward. It is a bad matchup for TJ Carey.
Agreed, but he kept him in check.
Kept him in front.
Yep. Marquise Brown, 4 catches, 22 yards on 7 targets. Nice work.
Yeah, he just made sure that he wasn't getting over his head, but he was giving all kinds of cushion, easy throws.
Yeah, like you're saying, that next drive, they start on their own 25 right away. 15 yards to Roberts, first down. I just thought that was silly because just like nobody around.
Who the fuck is Seth Roberts?
No idea, but he had 36 yards and 4 catches.
Then it was the fourth quarter. That's when the third quarter ended.
Oh, yeah. Third and 5. Jackson scrambles for 7.
One of the few times he got away today.
Down to the Cleveland 47. We're in the fourth quarter. Then Devereaux, tackle for loss.
Yeah, one of his best games. Obviously, you get an interception. I mean, who's expecting that? But you saw him out there a lot, being disruptive.
Yeah, Andrews again for 10. Mark Andrews only 31 yards on 4 catches, 8 targets. He scored once, but he's been a favorite target of Lamar. I thought, obviously, we'll have to watch the film, but Schobert's got to be responsible for some of that, right?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be. But there was an awful lot of zone by the Browns, so yeah, we'll see. I won't, go back and watch and see how it was all defended. But it looked like towards the end of the game, miscommunication between Mark Andrews and Lamar, and Mark Andrews throwing his helmet there
at the end. Yeah. A couple more plays go by. They're down at the Cleveland 6, first and goal at the 6. That's when Vernon had him wrapped up. Nope. That was on the shovel pass on the 16-yard line. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
That he should have just slammed him down. First and goal from the 6. Ogunjobi gets a tackle for loss on Ingram. He swim through.
Yep,
maybe.
However you want to say it. But yeah, I mean, Ogunjobi, like I said, big game out of him too. So I think he's going to probably grade out pretty well for this one.
Yeah, third and goal from the 8. Andrews scores. Touchdown.
Yeah, well, this has to be on Randall, right?
Agreed.
I mean, Schobert's there first. You got to think that Schobert's got the underneath routes, and Randall has the deep routes in that zone. And Randall's sometimes Randall will make some good plays, and then sometimes he makes some boneheaded plays.
Did it seem to you before the play that there was a bunch of guys like kind of looking around? There was a second there where I thought we need a defensive timeout because I felt like nobody knew who they were covering. At one point, Mac Wilson had to run out, and then he was covering Snead on that play.
Yeah, so that's never a good look.
I feel like they didn't know the defense they were in, and I wish maybe Wilkes doesn't have the power to be like, hey, I need a timeout here or something.
Oh, I'm sure he does. He's got to have the power if something's messed up. They were probably just thinking they would get it corrected. I mean, Schobert also should be the one that if things aren't going correctly, calls a timeout. Yeah.
Very important. You're up 24-10, in the fourth quarter, 3rd and goal from the 8, you need to hold here. So if you guys aren't completely 100% sure what defense you're in or who's doing what, Schobert, put your hands up, get a timeout. Don't worry. I think the Browns will get better at this if they're winning games, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You start to learn how to close games. So I think that was blown coverage, and I think they didn't know what was happening. Motherfucking Harbaugh, I'm out here winning games. 24-16, we're going for 2.
Is this the correct call?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
With 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, go for 2.
Okay.
You try to cut it to 6 because you're out there winning games. He did the same thing last week.
I could on the first one where Miles jumps. I'm like, what are they actually going to go for this here or what? It almost like they were searching for him to jump. Like they were trying to get somebody to go offside so they can move up a yard. And I was like, that's very strange if that's the case. Because you move a yard.
Yeah. They punch it in. Garrett jumps off sides. They punch it in anyway. 24-18. Browns are only up by 6. I panicked for a second. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time left.
There's a lot of time left, but the defense is playing pretty solid, and the offense is going to go. Now, the one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want the offense to just get super conservative. And Landry was out with a concussion at this point. This is after we had found that out. Yeah,
so here I think is one where Taylor runs it out, and we get tackled on our own 17.
Yes. And then
false start.
But here we go. All right, now you start getting nervous.
1st and 15. Well, we're going to give the ball to Chubb because we're trying not to lose. Harris seals the edge perfectly. Good night, Chubb, 88 yards.
Well, he does his job. You can see Farrell Brown doesn't even find anybody to block because somebody overruns their gap. There's 2 players playing the furthest outside gap. Somebody forgets to play the gap in between there, which I don't even know what gap that is. C, D, E, F. I don't know. It's outside. Somebody's got to be playing it. And nobody's there, and Chubb runs right through a giant hole. And you saw, looked like the Atlanta Falcons game last year, just running away from people.
That was awesome. I jumped right out of my seat. It was like as soon as he broke the hole, I knew he was gone.
Yeah, full head of steam.
Oh, man. This kid, you get 4 years because you're a running back, but man, I'm gonna be sad to let him go to some other team for $20 million a year in a couple of years because he's one of my draft darlings or whatever for this year, and he's just put it up. So
he's a very conservative guy. He lives within his means. He'll take a veteran minimum contract because he's a nice guy for the Browns.
Not.
Okay.
We went for a 2-point try. Really ugly kind of play. We also had to blow a timeout there because
red zone
nowhere near ready to go.
Red zone struggles. Red zone struggles, man. All the plays look alike, and they're not good.
Yeah, I didn't really like that 2-point conversion. 30-18, we're up after the failed 2-point conversion with 9:35. Are you still like, can we Browns this up? Because I am.
Well, obviously there's a chance you can lose this, but the defense is playing good enough at this point. I feel pretty confident about the defense that knowing that Lamar's got to throw his team back into the game. I'm not that worried. We're not going up against Tom Brady here.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I'm confident in the defense. I'm unconfident in the Browns curse or whatever that is that we have as a
some Brownsy shit. Yeah,
some Brownsy shit's gonna happen. But they go 4 and out, like 4th and 3 from their own 31. They had timeouts left, and they decided to go for it.
Yeah, this was the misread from either Lamar or Andrews, whoever it is. Somebody ran the wrong route or threw the wrong route, and they were clearly upset about it.
What I like about Harbaugh with the 2-point conversion try and then going for it on his own 31 is that he's not like, oh, we're going to punt it away and then use our timeouts and hope to get the ball back and then hope to get, because you don't get, there's no more onside kicks.
The onside kick is basically ruined ever since you don't give the you don't make it you don't give the guys the opportunity to run up with the kicker. Now, did you see where there was like the drop kick last week?
It was awesome, yeah.
And he kicked it super high. That might be the only way you're going to end up being able to get one of these. So these guys are going to have to learn now a special kick.
Wasn't that Tucker, by the way?
Is that who it was?
I think
so.
It
was. It was Baltimore, right? Yeah. Oh my God. So now Seibert's got to learn a whole new kicking style.
Yeah.
It's got a long way to go to be Justin Tucker. But yeah, that almost worked last week.
Yeah. So,
but the guy, you know what the guy did that was really smart from the Chiefs? Calls a fair catch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you recall that? Because that's the way he got out of it. So the ball's
because you can't get blasted now.
Yeah. So he just calls a fair catch, and once he catches it, the play's down. The play's over.
Right.
It was Miko Hardman, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Rookie coming up with a smart play.
For a change. You got to go for it there. It's 4th and 3. You got to go for it. It's so many coaches are like, well, we're only down 12. We'll punt it away and let our defense try to make something happen. I guess what I'm saying is, the Browns get the ball back and they immediately go 3 and out. They have a field goal try, but it's still a 2-point game. Or a two possession game,
right? Yeah.
Baltimore had to use a couple timeouts there. But
you're going to use them anyways.
You're going to use them anyway. You're going to use them whether the ball's in Cleveland territory or in your territory. So give up the 3 points. The important resource is the clock, not the points. So I really like what Harbaugh's doing analytically, I guess. If he gets the 4th and 3, nobody's going to talk about it. But Bill
Belichick says he uses less than 0% analytics.
He's just saying shit. Bill Belichick hasn't answered a question honestly in the media for I don't know how long.
Less than 0. He's like secretly the funniest guy in the NFL.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. He's just bullshitting everybody and people are eating it up.
Yeah, so there's not much left here. We got the field goal off of that turnover on downs. And then Whitehead picked off that pass down by the end zone. I don't know if you have anything to say on that.
Thanks, Lamar.
Yeah.
That's about all.
Yeah, and then we didn't really, we went 3 and out, used up the rest of their timeouts, punted away. Devereaux picked off that pass on the Baltimore 39, and then Hilliard scored a touchdown to make it 40-18.
Just to rub it in.
Yeah, and they scored after the 2-minute warning. So
yeah,
40-25.
There's your by the way touchdown. There you go. We'll make you feel a little bit better. Willie Snead. That's who that was, right?
Yeah, 50-yarder. Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. I guess if we're gonna talk about it, somebody missed a tackle, and then Randall just gets blown up out of the play.
Randall had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he needs to at least make the ball carrier turn back to the inside so somebody else can make a tackle. I mean, that was Sheldrick Redwine style play by a 5-year veteran.
Well, he's on his contract year. I mean, what he wants, double-digit millions. He's going to hit the free market. I don't know. Are you going to give it to him, or what's going to happen there with Randall?
Well, we're only a quarter of the way through the season, so he's got to improve. That's for sure. Maybe he's still feeling the effects of the concussion that he didn't have.
Yeah, he said he didn't have. Overall, I think a pretty fun day to be a Browns fan. 7-point underdogs. We go on the road into Baltimore. We haven't won there in 5 years or whatever the fuck. And then we beat the shit out of them, put up 40. Baker Mayfield, 20 of 30, 342, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, only sacked once in that first drive that we mentioned. So
beautiful.
The offensive line doing work, right?
I thought Freddie did a good job getting the ball out of his hands quickly as well. I mean, the offensive line, good job. Kudos. You did a nice job. But yeah, I thought overall better game plan as well and better execution. And hopefully we end up getting Higgins back next week. He's been out for a number of weeks. I don't know why he's still out. He's limited in practice, which means he's doing something in practice on these days. And Antonio Callaway will be back.
Oh, my God. We got Antonio Callaway coming back. Well, we might be losing Landry, so.
True, for one game. Landry's a warrior. He'll find a way. He'll fake the test. So he'll do whatever he has to do to get out there.
Yeah. Should Chubb ever have less than 20 carries?
Yeah, if you're losing 60-0.
At this point, Chubb should probably never have less than 20.
It's game. It's all about the game style. But yeah, it's nice to get the ball. You just want to limit those negative runs. I still feel like we're getting too many of those -2, -3s.
Yeah.
They're also creating really good running lanes. I guess you have to give up some of those with the way that they're trying to run from shotgun. Maybe that's going to happen to try to get spread things out a little bit, and try to get the numbers going in favor of the run game. Seems to be working because they're running for a decent average this year. We're sitting 2-2. We are first place in the AFC North. We have the San Francisco 49ers, who I don't know who I think they're on bye this week, actually. Last week they beat Pittsburgh, but they tried to throw it away. They committed a ton of turnovers to try to throw the game away. A very beatable team. I don't see any reason why we can't go to 3-2 and just keep continuing stacking up wins for a number of games. I know we got New England coming up, but it's time to put a little winning streak together here.
I agree. I mean, our second half of the season's not that difficult. Ravens got Steelers, Bengals, Seahawks, Patriots for their next 4. Steelers, Bengals, I'm not too afraid of, but they have to go to Seattle. They have Patriots at home, but that's not an easy October.
Yeah. We go to Seattle, or we're at home against Seattle?
At home.
Okay, that helps. Seattle usually plays better when they're at home. But yeah, just happy 2-2, man. And really the offense got things going, and we still have room to improve. That's what's great. We have players coming back that are going to be a big, really help out the offense. We've yet to have Odell and Landry and another guy go off in the same game. So, there's big things going to be happening there. I just expect a lot more out of this team, and I think we're just finally starting to find our groove here, and a lot of good games here to come.
Are you worried that Beckham only has 20 yards on 2 catches?
Nope.
Me neither.
We won 40-25. What's the matter?
I think Beckham's happy with a W, and he knows that Landry's getting 167 yards because of what he brings to the team, and Seals Jones got 82 yards because of what he brings to the team. Like, it's an effort,
Sure.
I hope he understands.
I'm sure they'll have an interview with him after the game. We'll see what he has to say about it. It was a tough game for him. I mean, Ravens went after him. They put up their best defense against them, and we come away just by using other guys. So it worked out exactly the way Freddie probably wanted it to.
Yeah. Mayfield much more comfortable in the pocket this week?
Yeah, I mean, he got the ball out quick. There's a couple times where he looks early on where he was like, do I have enough time to hold on to this thing? I think it's in the back of his head that he wants to get it out of there really quick, but he's got to make sure that wherever he's throwing it is safe. But yeah, I think overall the game plan was good for him.
That's a great road win for the Browns.
Yeah. Hell yeah. 2-2, baby.
Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Browns 2-0 on the road and 0-2 at home right now.
Oh man, it's because I haven't been to a game yet. I haven't been to the stadium yet.
Yeah. So 49ers on Monday night, come back. Seahawks at home. Maybe they'll get their first dub at home. Let's take care of Monday night first.
Another Monday night game.
Yeah. Anything else, good sir?
Nope. That is all. Let's move on till next week.
Twitter.
You can hit us up on Twitter at STS Podcast, and our email is
survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Patreon.com/STS Podcast if you want to support the show. Again, shout out to Ryan Cavazos. Thanks for the question. And
we didn't get to his question again. We have to get to that next.
Yeah, we did not.
Next episode.
Perfect for next episode. Jacob Bible shout out to you for sending in an email. We'll probably get to that one as well. Anyone else that wants to email us, feel free, or hit us up on Twitter. Lots of people to call out on Twitter. But thank you guys so much for listening, enjoying the show. Share it with your friends. Browns are in first fucking place. And all those bandwagon fans that are hopping off, you guys are 1-2, everything sucks, Mayfield sucks, OBJ sucks, whoever sucks, everyone sucks. You guys can all go suck a dick.
Yeah, your fandom sucks.
Is that it?
That is all. That's all I got. I'm not going to get angry.
I thought you had follow-up. All right.
Nope.
No
You
ranting
suck.
from Greg tonight.
No,
but
not today. I'm happy.
we do have Tell 'em What We Say.
Keep on surviving.